Hello, hello, this is Ryan, aka Ryless, and this video is to help you go over Windows 10, Windows 11, and their applications. In this video, we will take the time to go over where you can find applications, how to create your own, where you can place them as shortcuts, and also the safest way to download them. One way we'll be going over that will be through the Microsoft Store. Let's get started. Now, Windows 10 and 11 always come with default applications, no matter on what machine you come from. Unless you're building a machine from scratch, you may have a slight selection of pre or curated applications. On my screen, you see a couple applications that I have chosen to be here. I have downloaded some of these from websites and some from the Microsoft Store, which is equivalent to the App Store that you find on your phone. Now, the Microsoft Store is a safe place for you to download applications, similar for iTunes, Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok, for example. Now, you won't find every application there. You may have to actually create your own shortcuts if you want something easy to access on what we may call this right here, the Start menu. Now, the Start menu has evolved from just being a place to find your File Explorer and other applications that came with the machine. Now it's a place for you to find your easy but go-to applications that you may use day to day. Now, for example, YouTube is not an application that is found in the Microsoft Store, which is this white little shopping bag near the bottom of the screen. Now, this is easy access to a collection of applications, free or paid. You get to choose, but you can buy whatever you want, and you can also download whatever you want. But as we open this, if you find applications that are not located into this App Store or the Microsoft Store, you may want to go through the extra steps that we will go through today on how to download them. Now, top free ones, as mentioned before, were iTunes, Xbox, Netflix, and more. But say that I want to take a look. Well, for example, Pinterest. I believe Pinterest is an application, but we're going to pretend it's not. Now, the benefit of the Microsoft Store is that you can download applications that have been curated by Microsoft already. Now, this takes a nice little filter over the App Store to make sure that it's harder to get any viruses on your machine. So it keeps you safer and more protected. Going on to websites to download applications can open you up to different threats where a simple misspelling, as I mentioned before, we may want to go for a Pinterest. What if I typed in Pinterest and that was an actual website for luring in customers into downloading an application that may not be safe, simply by catching people off guard from a simple misspelling. Now, what we're going to do with the Pinterest website is turn that into an application. So I'm going to type this in correctly. Always make sure that you are verifying the address that you're typing in is correct in spelling. Otherwise, again, you could be tricked to going to a website that might actually be full of viruses and other traps for people who don't take that extra second to make sure where they're going. But here I know I made sure that I'm typing in Pinterest. Here on the Pinterest website, I have this go-to simple as is Pinterest homepage. Now, if I go into the top right corner above the website, I have my little mascot, my little logo here that tells me this is my account. And next to that are three dots, ellipses. If you click on these ellipses, you can actually go further down that list and see an icon for apps. As you're here, it may give you a couple options right away. You can see my pre-made websites that I've turned into apps. But take a look at this. Now I can install Pinterest as a web app. Do I want to install? I do. And now let's minimize every other distraction here. It already gives me an option to take this web app that I just created and to pin it to the taskbar, which is down below, or to pin it to the start menu, which is in this little start button, and other options. Now, you can have it auto start with a device, or you can create with a shortcut. Right now, I'm okay with the default settings. So I'm going to hit allow. What this does is get rid of that little address bar, less distractions, a pure experience just for Pinterest. Yes, it is able to be enlarged, and it still acts like the website in the sense that you can get to these different links, but treats it as an easy go-to application. Well, again, less distractions, just the pure content. Now let's close this. Since we pinned it to the taskbar, it still remains here as an easy shortcut. And for people who want a clean experience to not have anything here, you can, as mentioned before, pin this to the start menu. The start menu are my list of applications, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and any pinned apps are located towards the bottom. Now, if you notice this, I have actually moved these around by click and hold or drag and drop into places that I feel are my priorities. Now, Pinterest, let's pretend, is top priority. So I'm going to click and drag with the left click of my mouse and move this up towards the top. Now I have an easy place to find it. For applications that I do not want, I can right click, uninstall it, even though it's just a web app, which takes very little storage. I can unpin it, which just removes it from the taskbar if it says unpin from taskbar, or I can unpin from start, which is, again, this main menu right here. So right now, personally, I'm going to remove this, and I can have my original layout. Now, as mentioned before, there's other ways to download applications where you can go to certain websites and hit the download button if that website supports a desktop application, which are a little bit larger. Then you have your Microsoft Store apps, which are found in the Microsoft Store app button. And for any situation where you do not have a desktop application, a Microsoft Store application, you can create your own applications through the websites themselves. Now, this process currently works on Microsoft Edge, the new Microsoft Edge. Unfortunately, it does not work with Chrome right now. And as far as I know, does not work on Firefox. So this is a very cool feature to know, as every Windows 10 and 11 machine now comes with Microsoft Edge. Or if you're upgrading to those software editions, you will have this here already as well. But if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. If you want to see more videos, again, remember to hit up my likes and subscribe, because I will continue to keep making small or simple shortcuts as the day go on. Take care.